going, everyone? This is the next noob and welcome back to Lacuna. So we're back here in Gara and we're on our way to the Sakura Hotel to continue the investigation on who shot Banny. So I think we're going to meet Gary here. Okay, let's try to do this a little bit faster. Is there anything here? No, there's nothing on this side. Okay. So last time we figured out that the shot came from the Sakura Hotel, and as you can see, we have a very pretty cherry blossom tree. Okay, what is this sign for? Oh, it's for the cigarette. Yeah. That doesn't really do much. I remember the last time we saw something about the cigarettes. The game said that it's going to show us a scenic view of the city, but also that we can help Neil quit smoking. So yeah, like I said, let's help him quit. And I thought that it would be nice to give it a try. That's why I tried it right now to see what scenes will be shown. Since we still have cigarettes in our inventory, but apparently that's not much of a scene. So yeah, let's go to Gary. Can we check this one? No, we can't read it. Okay. Yeah. Oh, this is not Gary, this is Saito. Good evening, Neil. So Saito's the guy that Gary sent to investigate here, and Gary said he was going to follow. I don't know why he's still not here. Okay. Hey Saito, looks like you beat me here. Well, the rest of us use cars, you know. I know. Let me bring you up to speed. We locked down the hotel and told the staff that nobody can go in or out. Holloway is keeping an eye on everybody in the lobby. I flew a drone up to the highest room. Long said that's where the sniper might be. It's empty, lights out and no signs of life. Figured as much. Snipers don't usually stick around. But I did see lights in the room below. Maybe the guest in there saw or heard something. I'll pay them a visit. The receptionist said that the sniper's room was rented out to a gentleman named Diaz. I got his ID chip number already. Currently running a city-wide search for it, but without success so far. Do we know what Diaz looks like? They don't have any surveillance cameras in the hotel. You know how it is. Rich people and their privacy. So no, we don't know what he looks like, but maybe you can find out. I opened the sheet, let me send that to you. What did you tell the staff? That we have reason to believe that a dangerous criminal escaped from the hotel. Good work. Let me know if you get a hit on our perp's ID. I'll be inside if you need me. Good luck. Okay. Ooh, I like the light here. Cool. Okay. Good evening. Good evening, Neil Conrad, CDI. Could you answer a few questions? Naturally. Do you have any relevant information on Mr. Diaz for me? Anything suspicious? Nothing out of the ordinary. I sent all the information we have to your colleague. Payment info, ID number, those kinds of things. I see. I'd like to have a look around Diaz's room. Do you have a universal key card or something? If it is absolutely necessary, yes. It is. Here you go, sir, but please be careful not to disturb any of our guests at this late hour. Thanks, I will. Good evening, Agent Long, CDI. Oh, Long is Gary, okay. Hey Gary, I've got a key card. Let's have a look at Diaz's room. Alright, let's get up there. Please keep it down in the corridors if possible and mind the carpets. Okay. This reminds me of that part in Cyberpunk 2077 where they're in a hotel. Also, look at the reflection of the water on the wall. That looks cool. Yeah, I'm gonna gush over the pixel art here and there. So, yeah. Can I talk to this guy first? I'm watching the witnesses while you're upstairs. Ooh, they have a sort of aquarium behind. Ooh, that's cool. That's a huge aquarium. Yeah, for a hotel, I mean. Okay. Investigate the rooms. Okay. I really like that reflection on the wall. Wow, my gun's out. Okay. Okay, is there anything here that I can check before I go upstairs? Okay. Nothing. There's also nothing here. Okay. So we have the room number for Diaz, right? Or I think we have the key card for Diaz, but what the stay calm. Stay calm, ma'am. We're with the CDI. And I'm the CEO of Norton Robotics. I'm serious. We're Agent Conrad and Agent Long with the CDI. I'm also serious. I'm Clarissa Norton, CEO of Norton Robotics. Oh. Didn't the CDI teach you to knock first? We're in the middle of a high-profile investigation. Manners still matter. On that note, would you mind calling off your armed drone? Fine. Please make yourselves comfortable. We'd rather stand. You need to answer a couple of questions. Everybody wants a piece of me these days. Make it quick. I'm a busy woman. Yeah. Let's not talk about gunfire for now. Do you know your upstairs neighbor? Here in the hotel, I never saw him. But I heard him take a phone call in the corridor earlier around 11 o'clock. At 11 in the evening in the corridor? I believe he was pacing up and down the hall until the person he called picked up. Then he went to his room. Was it a live conversation or did he get a recorded message from someone off-planet? He spoke too, so it must have been a live conversation. What did he say? I don't know, I didn't pay much attention. He might not have spoken Garian at all. Anything else? Make it quick, I'm a busy woman. Yeah, I guess we have to ask her this. Did you hear a gun earlier? A gun? What kind of war zone is this? Answer the question, please. No, but now that you mention it, I heard some noise earlier, sometime between 1 and 2. I thought someone had popped a cork. Anything else? That's all, thanks. So you're going to leave me alone now? We might still have to bring you in for questioning, but for now, please stay put and wait for further instructions. Of course I'll stay. My tea isn't even cool enough to drink yet. I was going to have a whiskey, but that stuff tastes like a cheap knockoff around here. Yeah, whatever. Okay. So this is, Diaz's room. Right? But we didn't find anything here. I can't even access his PC. Yeah, maybe we have to use the elevator. Did they say what room he was in? Go investigate there. But I did! Oh, maybe... Yeah, wait. There you go. An almost empty whiskey bottle, and a pretty expensive one at that, judging by the receipt. Okay. There you go. A piece of paper. It's empty except for a strange hand-drawn symbol in the middle. Might be relevant. Fancy bathtub. Maybe the perp used it. We should have the whole bathroom checked for DNA. Okay. Anything else here? Okay, just the bathtub. Maybe something upstairs. Okay, there you go. Hey Gary, could you come over for a second? Did you find something? I'm pretty sure a piece of the window pane was cut out and put back in. Judging from the blue residue, they used a pocket laser cutting device. You think the sniper could have fired from here? It's possible. He'd have to be a really good shot, though. I also saw, I also saw a tiny bloodstain on the carpet below. Maybe the perp cut himself when he handled the piece of glass. Good work. I'll go back to my post and call the DNA guys. Let me know when you're done. Okay. Interesting. Okay. I think we're done up here. Let's go downstairs. A couple of potential witnesses are waiting in the lobby. We really need to track that Diaz guy down. Maybe one of them has seen him leave or even spoken to him. Go ahead and question them. You should also have a look around. It's no crime scene, but you never know where you'll find a clue. I'll be waiting at the reception. Come talk to me once you think we're done with this place. Okay. Was I supposed to investigate Mrs. Norton's area? Oh, what happened? Saito, anything new? Well, I tried to find out how Diaz escaped from the hotel. Banny was shot at 1:39. I suppose that Diaz left shortly after that, probably between 1:45 and 2:15. So we have an idea when he left. The big question right now is how. There's a functioning ID scanner at the door that only picked him up once when he arrived. That means that he can't have left through the front door. Could he still be here? No, I've had my drone scan the whole building for his ID twice already. He must have gone out through the back door. But you don't get far that way by foot. My theory is that he was picked up by a getaway driver in the backyard. There is a vehicle tracker on the launch pad that scans each car at the exact time it lands there. Cars aren't allowed to stick around for long on the launch pad. It's just meant for quick deliveries and pickups. Here's the thing. I went to ask the guard to pull the data for me a couple of minutes ago. He said someone had turned it off earlier tonight, swore it wasn't him, and that he hadn't noticed. We have to find out who it was. If we confront whoever helped Diaz get away, we might find out where he went. I'm sending a sheet to your cell. Submit it as soon as you think you know who disabled the tracker. Maybe the traffic data will still help even though parts are missing. The guard said your AR module can read it directly from the scanner on the launch pad. Okay, that's a lot of different things. Let me just check the cell. I feel like we've received a lot of clues. Okay. So we have to find out who turned off the vehicle tracking thing. Wow. Perp's hair probably have a, I don't know, beard is something. Okay. This is done. Whiskey bottle. Well, there was a bottle upstairs, right? Viola case. I don't know. Cut arm. How cut is the arm? Like, we know he might have bled from the glass, but I'm not sure if cut arm actually applies. So we have to get information about their beard and their hair. Okay. That's still just the email from Kat. Okay, so never mind. Let's check that later. Okay. So we will be interviewing the witnesses, right? Okay, let's talk to these guys first. See if you can find out how Diaz got away. What is the other guy saying? Go ahead and talk to the staff. Okay. Hi. Excuse me, sir. How can I help you? This one? Did you see anyone leave between 1:30 and 2:15? I was right here all night, but I really didn't pay attention to that, sorry. We gave a concert earlier and I kept playing for the people that stuck around. Thank you. Let's try this. Have you ever met Mr. Diaz? Diaz, the guest from the 8th floor? I think I talked to him yesterday. He was having a late night drink at the bar after he arrived. I was packing up my things when he went to his room. I asked him about the viola he was carrying. Okay. Quite an expensive model, I have to say. Did he show it to you? Viola, huh? Did he show it to you? No, he kept it in its case. He generally wasn't a talkative type. Okay. What does Diaz look like? He's a redhead with a beard. Thank you. That's all for now. Okay. We're pretty sure it's Diaz, right? Okay, so he's a redhead. Probably has a viola case. We know he has a beard, but we're not sure about this. Okay. So, let's try other people. Hi, excuse me, madam. Could I ask you a few questions? Okay. Did you see anybody leave between 1:30 and 2:15? Okay, yeah, let's ask this. Did you see anybody leave between 1:30 and 2:15? No, I was back in the kitchen cleaning some glasses. Had a lot of dishes to do after the concert tonight. Can I go now? I have a young boy at home and the sitter can't stay much longer. I'm sorry, but the hotel is on lockdown until further notice. You might want to give them a call. It could be a while until you can leave. Thank you. I have another question. Have you met Mr. Diaz? Diaz doesn't ring a bell. Don't think he ever came to my bar. Thank you. That's all for now. Okay, there's another guy here. Is this the guard? Evening, could you answer a few questions? Yeah, let's ask the first few questions first. Did you see anybody leave between 1:30 and 2:15? Or a car picking someone up? Could be. A bunch of people got picked up after the concert, but I'm more interested in people going in than out. I see. When was the concert over? It started at 20:30, so 8:30. Took about 3 hours, so 11:30, but some people stuck around at the bar a little longer. Thanks. Let's ask about Diaz. Have you met Mr. Diaz? Diaz? Who's that? A guest from the 8th floor. He arrived last night. No, I haven't talked to any guests in a while. Thanks. I heard that the vehicle tracker was turned off tonight. Do you happen to know why that is? No idea, really. It's supposed to be running around the clock. Are you sure it was turned off and didn't just malfunction? Pretty sure. It said it was offline. I just turned it back on and it seems to be running fine now. Plus, it's only been there for 2 days. It's a good brand too. Can it be turned on or off from anywhere other than this booth right here? No. And it's just been you here all night, nobody else? Well, sometimes I take a break. I usually ask Felicia or Bernd to take over and keep an eye on everything. Felicia or Bernd? Felicia's the bartender, the one who won't shut up about your stupid kid. Hey, that's kind of rude. Bernd's the pianist. Did they take over for you tonight? Yeah, let me think. Felicia at 2200, Bernd at 045. Both for about 15 minutes. So Felicia is 10 p.m. Bernd at 12:45, which is closer to our time of death. Though if he took over at 12:45, that's just up to 1 a.m. And he was shot at 1:39, if I remember correctly. Thanks. That's all for now. Okay. Is there anything else here? What's this? Is this the vehicle thing? Oh, there you go. What's happening? Oh. Sorry, am I interrupting something? No, going for a smoke? Yep, might as well. It sounds like you're going to keep us here for a while. Probably. Hey, I have a question. Do you always store your whiskey in the backyard? That's an expensive brand to just leave out here. Oh, looks like they forgot to bring in part of the night's shipment. I'll let the bartender know. Was the whiskey dropped off here by car? Yeah, the alcohol often comes in pretty late. Do you remember when they landed tonight? I'm not connecting this. No. Wait, I do actually. I saw them arrive when I went back in after a break. It was precisely at 22:10. So they arrived when Felicia was taking over the guard's duties. Are you sure about the time? Yeah, I was looking at my cell right at that moment because I got a message. Thank you. Okay. Can I look at my clues? Okay. This is something to do with the whiskey, right? But I don't know how that's connected. Am I missing something here? Can you guys deduce what's happening? I think there's something else here. Yeah. Ooh, okay. So there's a log of the cars. It ends at 10. There should be something about a little bit before 2 or a little bit after 2 a.m. I can't navigate around this, so I think that's just it. It registers every car coming to the backyard. But come to think of it though, the car didn't have to come in at 1. It could have been there for a while. But then it just left when Diaz came in to escape. Okay. I mean, came to this area to escape. So the last thing that left was around 10:04. And the pianist was saying that he saw a shipment arrive at around 10:10. So does this mean that it's the bartender? Because she's connected to the shipment of whiskey, right? Does that make sense? Is it safe to assume that? Okay, do we have other questions for this guy? Not really. And also, when I was editing the last video, I found out, well, not that I found out, but I didn't notice the button that was used to highlight stuff, but now I know that it's this one. So it's pressing the left stick. So let's try that. Yeah, there's nothing really here. Okay. Okay, so maybe it's just telling me to go inside. Okay, can I try it? Yeah, there you go. She's highlighted, right? Is she? I think she was red earlier. Okay, there you go. Excuse me, madam. Could I ask you a few questions? Okay. Yeah, this one. The vehicle tracker was turned off earlier and I'm trying to find out why. Do you know anything about it? I heard that you briefly took over for the guard a while ago. I did, but why would I turn off the tracker? I wouldn't even know how. Thank you. That's all for now. Okay. Back to the pianist then. Excuse me, sir. How can I help you? About the tracker? The vehicle tracker was turned off earlier tonight. I'm wondering if you might know something about it. Did you stand in for the guard tonight? I did, but just for a few minutes and I touched nothing. Was the tracker still turned on while you were there? I really don't know. I just sat there until he came back. Thank you. That's all for now. Huh. So, I'm required to submit the sheet now. I'm not sure if I'm gonna get this right. Do I have other emails? No? Okay, oh, wait. Okay. It was turned off by... I'm not sure. The bartender? So he's red, or he's a redhead. They said he had a beard, right? He's a redhead. Is his beard also red? Anyway, we're not supposed to submit this yet, so I think this is just the priority. So the bartender took over until 10:10. The last log was at 10:04. So I think it's her. And we don't really have any clues against the pianist or anything against the guard. I mean, they're not really off the hook here, but there isn't a shred of evidence against them. Not that some evidence already... I mean, the small amount of evidence doesn't mean that it's, of course, the bartender, but there's just nothing pointing to other people, and we only have 3 choices here. So, okay. Excuse me, I'm afraid we have to have another chat. I've really got to get home soon. I don't know if you have kids you've got to take care of. The guard told me that you took over for him during his break at 2200. After that, no more vehicles were scanned on the launch pad. So yeah, we got that clue right. However, the guard said that people were picked up in the backyard all night. According to the pianist, there was a delivery shortly after 10, but there's no record of it. Oh, so that's how that's connected. The tracker must have already been turned off. Care to explain what's going on here? I don't know what you're talking about. If you won't be honest with me now, I'll have to take you in for questioning. What? No, I have to get home. Mr. Diaz is suspected of being involved in an interplanetary murder case. I don't have to tell you how serious it is to be complicit in something like that. Murder case? Shit. I don't know what he was up to, okay? It was about the money. Did he kill someone? Please tell me everything from the start. Diaz was at my bar last night. He offered me a drink. At first, I thought he was going to hit on me. But then he said he needed my help, that he was expecting a visit today, and that his visitor wanted to stay under the radar. He asked me if I could do him a favor and turn the car tracker off. Offered me a bunch of money for it. I had to take it. I really needed it, okay? I didn't think it would do any harm. I assumed it was about a secret lover, maybe a famous one. Wouldn't be the first time around here. It's also pretty commonplace that our guests ask for special favors. This was a pretty small one, and honestly. And then I saw Diaz leave tonight. He was picked up by a guy in a white van. I realized he had lied to me and I got cold feet. That's when I called in the anonymous tip. Oh, so that was you. Why didn't you say right away that he got away in a van? I don't know. I panicked, okay? I said he was suspicious and I hoped you'd take it from there. I didn't want to implicate myself by drawing attention to the car. I see. A white van, huh? Did you catch any more details about the car or the driver? No, I'm sorry. What does Mr. Diaz look like? He's a skinny, tall guy with red hair and a red beard. Please, you have to understand, I didn't think it was a big deal. You can't tell anyone. I can barely make ends meet. I can't lose my job or go to jail. I have a son. I, oh god, the timer is going. I didn't choose that, by the way. Sorry, but I can't let that slip. You helped a dangerous man escape. Yeah. Shit, I really didn't mean to. Please. I don't think it matters whatever I tell her, because I already submitted the sheet, so I think, the other CDI agents already have it. Also, I think I can submit the other sheet now. This one? Red hair, red beard, probably has a viola case. Not a whiskey bottle. He left his whiskey bottle upstairs. I'm still not sure about the cut arm. The pianist said he had a viola case, and the pianist was pretty reliable. Because he told me, he gave me the right information about the vehicle tracker. The vehicle tracker, so, yeah. Let's see. What do I have to do? What's my, objective? Talk to Gary, okay. I think I might know how our guy escaped. He bribed the bartender to turn off the vehicle tracker in the backyard. After she did that, a white van came to pick up Diaz. The bartender gave the anonymous tip to the police when she realized that Diaz had lied to her. Sounds like a risky plan, banking on the cooperation and silence of a stranger like that. I think that part was improvised. The tracker was installed only 2 days ago. Don't you think she might have been an accomplice from the get-go? Unlikely. If she was, I don't think she would have called in a tip. That makes sense. Maybe, but we should have her arrested to be sure. Yeah. Maybe they'll let her go easy if they find out that she wasn't really an accomplice from the start. Maybe there's consideration for her calling in the tip. Let's do that and focus our efforts on the van now. Gentlemen, I've been looking into that white van while you were talking. A vehicle matching the description passed by a nearby security camera at about the right time. Pretty sure that's it. I followed its trail. It was last scanned a few minutes ago and seems to be parked now. Where? In the lower layers, just a few train stops away. Excellent work. Conrad, you go and check it out. I'm waiting for the chief here. He's on his way. Wanted to see this place for himself. And I'll get back to HQ. I'm of more help with a database at my fingertips. Copy that. I'll catch the next train and keep you posted. Okay. Can I submit the thing? I still can't? Why? Okay. Never mind then. So, back to the train we go. Okay. I have a quick question about the train. There doesn't seem to be a device or something that takes in your card or whatever it is that they use in the future to pay for trains. I don't know. Or maybe you're just being scanned discreetly, something like that. And then they just know it's you and then just takes off it just charges your account or something? I don't know. Okay, so we're here. Track down Diaz. Okay. Let me just check if there's something on the left. Probably not. Yeah, nothing. Okay. Oh, I like this place. See, there's always a lot of details wherever you go in this city. Okay, I have a call. Hey Neil, did you find the van yet? Looking at it now, seems like they dumped it. Oh, this is the van already? Figured as much. I dispatched the team to your location that will give the van a thorough screening. You should leave it behind and go after the perp now. Maybe he's still close. Be careful, I've been looking into Mr. Diaz some more. His ID seems to be completely fake. There's no record of it before he checked into the hotel. Fake IDs are very hard to come by. You need a surgeon to put it in and a very good hacker who injects it into the federal database. This is yet another sign that we're dealing with a big fish here, or more likely a bunch of them. Copy that. Thanks for the heads up. Okay. Let me just check if there's something on this side. Yep, no, okay. I didn't realize this was already the van. This must be the van we've been looking for. It has no license plates. Okay. Is there anything else? Oh, I can talk to this guy? You don't look like you're here for the concert. I wish I was. Can I ask you a question? Did you see the person that landed the van over there? Do I look like a snitch to you? Do I look like police to you? Fair. If you're not a cop, what are you? Neil Conrad, CDI. Damn, CDI? That's even worse. Look, did you or did you not see the driver? I'm trying to find out where they went. I've only been out here for a minute. My dog needs to take a leak and then we're going back in. You're taking your dog to a concert? He appreciates good music. Are we done? If you didn't see anything or anyone suspicious yet. Look man, everyone around here probably looks suspicious to you. If you want to do some actual good, have a look around down at the pier. My friend Rob keeps having trouble with his business. Some assholes climb onto his boats, leave their shit behind, make a mess. That's maybe something to look into, but then you're not really interested in helping the community, are you? You have me all figured out. Have fun at the concert. Yeah. Before we go down there, can we check if there's anything here? Oh. What? What is this? Welcome to Port Bureau. Canal something, okay. Okay, that's just for thinking. What's this for? Is this like a control center for something? For the boat rental? Or like, I don't know, since it's a pier, the Coast Guard or something like that? I don't know anything about piers, by the way, so excuse me for that. Okay. Hi! What's with the fancy suit? Yeah, you don't really have any information for me, do you? Yeah, that's it. Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna get cigarettes. Anything I can investigate here? Oh, there you go. The rope on this bollard seems to have been cut recently by a pocket laser. Ooh. Okay. Anything else? Okay. No, I don't want to smoke. How about here? Okay. What else should we be doing? Ask around. There's just that one person to ask. I already talked with that person. There's someone else. And I can't really do anything with this. Yeah, we tried this earlier, right? Yeah, there's nothing here. Okay. This is just for cigarettes, right? Yeah, no, I didn't want to get that. Okay, never mind. I just wanted to try if there was something else that can do for me. Okay. Yeah. Maybe there's someone we can talk to near the train? Or is there anything else we can investigate here? Yeah, I don't think so. I think we got through that already. Okay. Okay, I'm not sure what to do. Can I enter one of these establishments? Yeah, let's try talking to this person again. Wow. Kinda rude there, okay. How about these people? So I tried to activate that highlighting thing, but it doesn't highlight anybody. What is the next step here? Yeah. Let me just, while we're figuring out what the next step is, let me just read this quickly. Hey Neil, thanks for saying hello to Laura. Even if she didn't show it, she's happy you saw him. I talked to you soon. Okay. That's kind of expected. Okay. And it doesn't really help us with the investigation, of course. What am I missing here? Oh. Weird. Okay. Excuse me, sir. Huh? Have you been here all night? Who's asking? Neil Conrad, CDI. I'm here investigating a case. CDI? Every time you're looking for a culprit, it's always down here, huh? We're all from the same city. Sure as hell doesn't feel like it. I noticed a rope over there that looks like it has been cut recently. Do you know anything about that? Did someone steal a boat? Did Rob call you here? Who's Rob? Rob? Ha, didn't think so. But he's still going to want to talk to you. Rob! Okay. Someone's here about your boat. Well, tell him to get up here. You heard the man. Okay. So that's, the friend, right? Okay, there you go. Ooh, nice. Nice shot. Hey, that's the first time the cops have responded to my call. I had some punks vandalize one of my boats last month and nobody showed. I'm not with the police. Sorry to disappoint you, but I'm actually not with the police. Neil Conrad, CDI. CDI? What the hell are you doing here? I'm investigating a different case. You might be able to help me. And what about you helping me? Why does the police ignore me and everyone I know? I don't know. But you have to listen to me. The man who stole your boat might be very dangerous. Help me find him and you'll get your property back. When did you steal it? It's 3:40 now, a good hour ago. I heard the engine start and then Ed yelled something. Ed, the man down at the pier? Yeah, he wanted to stop the guy, but he's an old man, you know? I went out to see what was going on. The boat was already leaving the port. So 2:40. Sounds about right. Yeah, they left before 2:15. They left the hotel before 2:15. Okay. I see. How long had it been in this harbor prior to being stolen? For over a week. Wasn't booked a lot lately. Is there a way to track it? All boats that go in or out are picked up by a scanner at the port entrance. The port AI next door has the data. Maybe it'll spit out if you tell it you're law enforcement. Oh, so it's the port AI that we saw earlier. I'll give it a try. What's your ship's ID? No idea. It's called Berta. Don't you have a record of that? I don't know what to tell you. It's Berta to me. Will that name show up in the system? No, but it's painted on the side. Do you know anything about the thief? No, except that it's probably a Savian. What makes you think that? Because it was Savians who vandalized my boat last month. Is that all you're basing this assumption on? Well, it makes sense, doesn't it? Did you see the thief? No, but Ed saw him. Ed didn't seem too keen on talking to me earlier. He's an old grump, that's for sure. Any chance you could convince him to help us out? Ha! Nobody tells Ed what to do. Least of all y'all upper folks. One of you bureaucrats chased him out of his old harbor. If he ever had any sympathy for you, that's where it ended for sure. Sounds like that's something important to Ed, huh? Won't shut up about it. So are you bringing me my boat back or what? I'll do the best I can. If it turns up, I'll let you know. Okay. So let's go to the AI. Here. Welcome to the Port Bureau, visitor. What can I do for you? Show me the recent traffic data of this harbor. Access denied. Traffic data is not a matter of public record. I am Neil Conrad with the CDI. Scan my ID. Scanning. Welcome, Agent Neil Conrad. What can I do for you? Today's traffic data. Come on. Understood. Displaying traffic data. Anything else? That's all. Okay. Hey, any updates? Not yet, but maybe soon. I think our guy stole a boat. A boat? Why would he do that? Maybe to avoid scanners. Boats aren't tracked as closely as cars or pedestrians. Still, the boat should be easy to find. They're slow and there are scanners at every port entrance. The problem is that I do not know the boat's ID yet. But I do have a record of the local traffic data on screen right here. Traffic data again, huh? Do you know when the boat arrived and when it left? Approximately. I should be able to identify the right one on that list. Just give me a moment. Okay, send it to me via number pad as soon as you do, and I'll call you back if I find the boat. Number pad? How do I do that? Will do. Talk to you in a minute. Okay, that's a lot of information. I can navigate to the other things, so I think we're just looking at this. It's 1840? That's the current year? 1840? Okay. So 240, right? It left at 240. Outgoing 788901, and it came in yesterday at 1454. I'm not going to remember these things. Wait, let me take note of that. I'm gonna get a pen and a sheet of paper here. Okay, so it arrived May 3, 2:54 p.m. Left May 4, 2:41. So we should be able to send that to Saito. Is there anything else here? I can't run while I'm investigating, by the way. Okay. Okay, so let's send the numbers by numpad. 788901. Is this going to work? Right, it did work. Okay. Objective is to talk to Ed. Okay. How does the numpad work? Is that like a messaging thing? Excuse me, sir. Your friend told me that you saw the person who stole the boat. And what if I did? Then you could describe to me what you saw to help me track it down. Your CDI, you said? That's correct. That means you're concerned with crimes, right? Like fraud and theft? Sometimes, yes. You also help out folks from around here? I'll try to be kind. We help everyone. Why do you ask? Look, I was thrown out of Lacuna Harbor the other day. When I bought this boat as a young man, it came with a spot there. Now the whole area is being turned upside down. Construction everywhere, richer folks moving in. First, they tell us it's no big deal for us locals. 2 weeks ago, I'm landing my boat. They ask for money. New management, they say. Of course, I didn't want to pay up. Truth be told, I couldn't have anyway. I call the company, all I hear is a lawyer gibberish, so I decide to go elsewhere. Look at this pitiful pier I've been staying at. Not a single decent pub in sight. If you help me get my spot back, I'll tell you what I saw. Okay. Fine, I'll try. I'll be damned. Seems like things are finally looking up. Let's connect ourselves. You can call me as soon as you have my spot. Okay. Here's what you need to know. My spot was at Lacuna Harbor, right next to the Red Herring. The Red Herring? It's a pub. The best one there is. I see. Very clever. That's where you'll find my friend Fred, the harbor master. Go talk to him. It's a few miles down the canal from here. A few miles? Can't you just tell me? This is really time sensitive. Now we have a deal. Like I said, I got to shoot my shot. Fine, but it'll have to wait a little. I'm following a hot trail right now. Right, okay. So that's kind of a side quest. Could I have refused that? Is this Saito? I got the ID you sent me and I found the boat. Cool. It's pretty far away from you at the moment. I'll send someone to have a look. If anything turns up, I'll let you know. In the meantime... Saito? Hold on, I think I got a hit. A hit? On Diaz's ID chip. It got picked up just now. It's not close to the boat you sent me, but I'm sure it's him. Diaz passed through a train station on foot. So he got on a train? No, he was scanned at both exits. You're the closest agent to his current location. Get over there, stat. I'm sending reinforcements. Copy that. And the boat? Let the other team worry about it. You go after the sniper. I'm sending you the coordinates. Get on the train now. Thanks, I'll keep you updated. Okay, here we go. Are we really going to get Diaz? Is this it? Let's go, let's go. Okay. So, just by pure coincidence, I arrive at the place where Ed wants me to go. Interesting. Okay, what do I need here? Okay, what's this? Is this just for downloading the news? Yeah, okay, never mind. I'm probably not gonna read that. Oh. I like this. I like how it looks. Oh, are these stairs? Yeah. Get your hands off me. Please stop resisting, ma'am. What am I being arrested for? You have no right. I want to talk to my lawyer. Do you have a lawyer? Maybe. You don't know. Let's call them down to the station then, because that's where you're going. No, why are you wasting your time on me? There's a guy with a rifle around here. Ooh. Miss Grindle, there isn't. Let's go. Hold on just a second. Neil Conrad, CDI. That's cool. He was showing off his ID there. CDI, the Central Department of Investigation. Finally, we finally know what it means. Okay. A case leads me here. May I ask what's going on? I'm so glad you're here, sir. These two officers are making a grave mistake. The whole quarter should be locked down right now. There's a man with a rifle around here. Miss Grindle calls us every week. Last time it was for a car that was too large for its parking spot. Before that, she called us on a street vendor because he was lurking outside the apartment block. She's been doing that for a long time. We're finally bringing her in for wasting our time. Sir, please, you're with the CDI. Your oath demands that you take me seriously. Is that really part of the oath? I don't recall an oath about a Miss Grindle. Don't you see I'm one of yours? You're CDI? No, I'm an upper. I don't belong down here. Yeah. When my husband was still alive, we had a nice place on the upper layers. It had sunlight and proper walls and no drug addicts lingering around the entrance. I've just fallen on hard times for a while. I mean, I don't have anything against people living in here, but anyone can just say that. Enough. You've been living here for 12 years. Let's go. Sir, I swear I overheard some dangerous people. They have a gun and some important data or something. They killed somebody already. She said, "Is it done?" And he said, "He's dead." Could you tell me the story from the start, please? I was watching something online when I heard voices coming from the apartment next door. I was surprised. It's always so quiet that I wasn't even sure if someone lived there. It was a man and a woman, and they seemed to be fighting about something. I wanted to make sure it wasn't domestic abuse, so I turned off my program and listened. You never know down here. What did they fight about? I can show you. When I got suspicious, I started recording them with my cell. You did what? That's in violation of just listen to it, the things they talked about. Could you send the logs to me? Yes, of course. Is that an actual thing that happens before their eyes? The colors? Thanks, I'd like to ask all of you to stay put until I've had a look at the conversation. You're wasting your time, but whatever, we'll wait. Okay. Let's check our email. The subject is dangerous people. Okay. They really did a number on your face, but I have to say, I kind of like the new look. I don't. Are you drunk? I don't have to be drunk to have an opinion on your new face. But you smell like whiskey, and what the hell happened to your arm? Oh. So, cut arm makes sense. The Viola case makes sense too. I don't know. Anyway, I cut myself, it doesn't matter. Wow, this hideout's really a shithole. I've only been staying here for a few days. Where's your violin? Funny, I gave the rifle to... something? Zora, listen to me. We don't have much time. I passed by a scanner on my way here. They're probably on my tail already. Fuck. What were you thinking? You're still wearing the ID chip? Why didn't you go straight back to HQ to have it taken out? Were you able to procure the data? Yeah, the old man didn't suspect a thing. Listen, you need to give it to me. The boss called and said there was a change of plan. I'll take care of the handover. I called the guy we're meeting and told him that I was coming instead of you. He seemed a bit pissed though. I think I woke him. Didn't expect him to be sleeping at 11. Are you out of your mind? They know your ID. They'll catch you for sure up there. I have no idea what all of this means. Okay, I know the route you were going to take. I know how to get on and off Joris Plaza without being scanned. Why didn't the boss tell me about all this? And why the fuck did we change plans? I talked to the boss after the hit. He told me to come get you. No idea why they... something. Come on, Zara, give me the stick. We need to move now. The CDI could be here any minute. Boyd, you're... something. Let me get my stuff. Give me the stick. Fine, here it is. Where are we going? We should split up right now. Keep your head down and wait for me to get in touch. Get to the... They won't be able to track me if I... And that's convenient. We don't have that information. 8:30. Boyd, you're not making all this up, are you? Are you crazy? Of course not. Now let's get this mission over with. Come on. Be careful out there, okay? We're so close to getting out of it all. You too. So it seems like there's a bigger organization behind this. And they're just hired guns, right? Okay. Now what? Really, you should believe her. But the thing actually makes sense. So, what do you think of that conversation? I need to see that room. I need to see the room they were in. Can you show me to it? See, I knew there was something fishy. Follow me. Thank you. What's this about? What's going on? This might be important for a case I'm working on. What case? It's classified. Okay. Miss Grindle looks a bit different. Oh, that's not... I was looking at the wrong person. I thought she looked different compared to her picture. But yeah, I was looking at the wrong lady. You all walk so slow. This is where I live. The voices came from right next door. Thank you. Watch my back, officers. Hello? Anyone home? CDI, open up. You are surrounded. Come out with your hands on your head. That's a fun thing to say. I don't think there's anybody. Shh. If you're not coming out, I'm opening the door on the count of 3. 1, 2. He said 3. Everybody on your knees, hands on your heads. I'm coming in. Clear. Please stay in the corridor, everybody. I'll have a look around. Is that standard procedure? They say they will count up to 3 and then kick the door at 2. Okay. What's in here? What's that? Is there anything on the other side? No? Okay. Excuse me, Miss Grindle. I found this key here. Any idea where it might belong? Is that Gary on the other side? Oh, really? Let me take a look at the tag. Apartment 9, huh? It's for an apartment in this building, but they changed the way their rooms are numbered. The tag belongs to the old system. My apartment number used to be 4. The one you searched was number 5. There's a floor plan over there. Maybe you can make sense of it. Thank you. Conrad, what's going on? Hey Gary, we just got really lucky. I think that Mrs. Grindle over there called the cops on our guy. Looks like his real name is Boyd. He met a woman named Zora in this apartment here. I have parts of a recorded conversation between the two. I'm sending it to you now. Where'd you get that? Let's just say Mrs. Grindle is very interested in her neighborhood. From what I understand, the woman stole some data from an old man and gave it to the sniper. He in turn is going to hand it over to an unknown third party at Charles Plaza at 8:30. Good job, Conrad. I'll immediately inform the chief. We'll have to intercept that handover. Why would the sniper physically bring the data to someone, though? The only explanation I have for that is that it's tagged, that the network will pick it up as a leak. But that would mean that it's highly confidential data from the government. It's the best reason I can think of, but maybe they're just being extra careful. Hey, I found the key in the apartment the woman was hiding in. It belongs to another unit in this building. Maybe we'll find more answers there. Do you know which one it is? There's a number on it, but they changed the way the rooms are numbered. Miss Grindle said her apartment was 4 and the one next to it was 5 in the old system. There's a floor plan right there on the wall. Go take a look at it. Yeah, can you stop talking, Gary? Maybe you can figure out the way the rooms used to be numbered. Yeah, I know that. Just stop talking. I'll call the chief. Bring him up to speed. Thank you. Now we can actually do something here. Is this the floor plan? Why can't I check it? Oh, maybe. Yeah, there you go. So Mrs. Grindle is now 21 and 22. And she said the number on the key is 9. Let me use my cursor for this. So 4, 5, maybe 6, 7, 8, 9. Does that make sense? Is it 33? What is this? So this is the one that can't be used because there's a construction thingy here. So maybe 33, right? Does that make sense? Can I talk to her and ask her again? I'm glad I could help. Okay, she's done. How else can I go up there? What happened there? What? How did that happen? Is this just like a cross section? Okay, maybe. Let me know if it. Let me know when you found the lock to that key. But I can't go up there. That's it, right? Unless it's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, because I can't go up there, I'm gonna try this, the unit here. The key won't fit. What? Okay, I'm confused now. There's no way I can get up here. Right? Yeah, it won't let me. So I'm just gonna try the doors here. There's also an elevator, but it starts at the next floor. And I can't get there. Okay, so I'm not exactly sure how to get to that side. Is this an elevator to that area? Okay, wait, let me check the floor plan again. There are dotted lines there, but I'm not sure if that's going to go there. Oh wait, let me exit this. I already know what apartment number it is. Can I use this? No? Okay. Is there a way from the other side? What the hell is this? Okay. That's the same thing. Right? Yeah. That still doesn't give us a way to tell Gary that it's apartment number 33. Is there anything here? What?
I felt sorry for the old lady. Descending through the layers was easy these days if you didn't have one of the few jobs that still existed. Basic income wasn't enough for most people, even around here where living was relatively cheap. Although somehow our economy had never been more productive.
What does that have anything to do with apartment 33? Can I use this to get there? Okay, that arrow is... Which one is it? Is it this one? The key one. Okay. But I guess I got past with that part. Okay. Maybe here. Okay. I think I went too high. Yeah, I think it's... Yeah, there you go. Okay. Whoa. Okay. Is this Zora? Hold on, I'll get you out of this. Is anyone else here? What are you going to do to me? Are you with her? My name is Neil Conrad. I'm with the CDI. Oh, thank fuck. Please, I need water. Of course, here you go. Are you hurt? I don't think so, just very sore, and my wrists burn like fire. What's your name? I'm Lila. Alright, Lila, you're safe now. Let me call you a doctor. Alright, a medical team is on its way. Could you tell me what happened from the start? Yeah, okay, fuck. She was in here, and she looked almost exactly like me. Creepy, okay. A woman was in here in your apartment? Yes, I tried to fight, but she was so incredibly strong. It was like looking in the mirror, like I had a twin. She must have had some surgery to look like me. Wow, okay. When did this happen? I came home from a client 2, maybe 3 days ago. She was already in here. I turned on the light and I saw myself sitting right over there. I barely had time to react. She jumped me so quickly. She must have some augments or something. Any idea why this happened to you? Why would she try to impersonate you? I've been racking my brain about that. Is there anyone she might be trying to get close to? I don't think I know anyone important except for my clients, maybe. Your clients? I'm making money on the side at an escort agency. So I'm not a whore if that's what you're asking. I mostly just dress well and go to dinner parties. We only have high-profile customers. I'm a student, and it's a good way to pay the bills. Maybe she was trying to get close to one of your clients then. You think? I mean, it could be. I missed an appointment while I was tied up. Interesting. I thought my boss would come looking for me, but nobody showed. Do you think she went to him? Oh no, what if she did something bad to him? Is her client Benny? You can testify that I've been in here all this time, right? Don't worry, you're not a suspect. Who was the client? A public official or something, I don't recall his name. Ooh, could be Benny. He wanted me to spend the night at his place. My boss said he was a regular customer, but I've never met him. I think he's the old man that they got the data from, right? Do you have any more data on him? Name, address? It was all on my cell, but the woman took it. I see. Is there another way to find the client's data? We might be onto something here. My boss at the Lotus Escort Agency has all of it. It's just around the corner. But don't leave me alone right now. What if she comes back? I'm staying here until reinforcements arrive. You won't be left alone. Knock knock. Hey Gary, Lila, this is my partner, Agent Long. Gary, could you keep an eye on Lila here for a minute? I need to follow a lead to her employer. I'll explain everything later, okay? Babysitting duty, huh? Alright, I guess. Nice to meet you, ma'am. Lila, how do I find the escort agency? Just go all the way up to the roof of this building. You'll end up on the next highest layer. Take her right and you can't miss it. Thank you. Alright. At least there are clear instructions for this one. Okay. So, highest layer. And then on the right. Can't miss it. I really hope so. Okay, I think this is it. Hello, sir. Excuse me. Closed. We're closed. I'm not a customer. Neil Conrad, CDI. Ah, good morning. That's a surprise. What leads you here? One of your employees, Lila. Lila, sweet girl. Nice and reliable. When did you last see her? Not in a while. I just relay orders to her cell as they come in. Sometimes she doesn't accept. Mostly she does. There was a client she had this week. I need to find out more about him for a case. Oh, okay. Did he do something to her? I can't tell you. Could you give me his name and contact details? Oh, Mr. Conrad, I would love to help, really. But it's very important that we protect our client's privacy. I'm sure you understand. I can't risk my business like that. Yeah, let's try to be kind here. Please be reasonable. This is a serious matter. Okay, Mr. Conrad, I have a proposition to make. I'm putting my business at risk by helping you, but you can help me make up for the damage. There's another issue that puts me in a very uncomfortable spot right now. One of my employees has quit on me despite her contract running for a few more months. Are we going to get another side quest like the one for Ed? I told her I needed her. She already accepted several offers over the next few weeks. We have a reputation to uphold. Our clients would be really upset if I canceled their appointments. Those are all high-class people relying on our services. I told the local police already and they wouldn't listen to me. But I have the contract right here. See, it's signed and everything. If you can get her to fulfill her duties, at least the appointments she already confirmed, then I guess I could help you too. Did she say why she wouldn't do it anymore? You ask her. She said she's quitting and she's been ignoring me ever since. How about it, Mr. Conrad? I think I had an option to say no to Ed earlier, so let's try it this time. No way, this isn't a negotiation. Well, then I don't know where we're going from here. To the place where you give me the information I'm asking for. Are you sure you don't want to help? I am in the right. She lives just around the corner. Okay, let's try saying no to this one. I have no time for this. Sort this business out with your local police. Either you give me the information now or I'm coming back with a court order and a raid squad next week. I thought you were a man of the law, but you're here without a warrant, bullying me into giving out confidential information and refusing to help my company uphold its rights. Tell me who the customer is. His name is Liam Campbell. Oh, so we can get answers without doing the side quests. Okay. Liam and his address 144 Rumpalt Avenue, District 2. Okay. Now get out, we're closed.
Liam Campbell. Liam fucking Campbell. It had taken a moment until it clicked because I never called him that. To me and the rest of my division, he was just the chief. That's who the woman had tried to get close to. The director of national security at the CDI. My boss. Now what? Should I follow the chain of command and tell Gary? The chief probably wasn't too keen on everybody finding out about his habit. Maybe I should talk to him first. Then again, it might be too important for the case to be kept secret.
So we have a choice here. We either tell Gary or not. Oh wait, he's up there. I think I'm gonna tell him. Hey Gary, sorry about being short with you earlier. I had to follow an important lead. Was it worth it? It was. Let me fill you in. Apparently, the woman that tied up Lila had some procedure done to look very similar to her. I suspect she impersonated her to get close to a customer. Lila told me as much. We had a little chat earlier. I'm almost positive that the client is the old man the impersonator stole the data from. How did they know that the customer would book Lila? I don't think they did. The sniper said something about the woman's new appearance. Maybe they changed her looks after the appointment had already been accepted. And it healed within a few days? That kind of tech is rare. But how is any of this connected to our case other than the perp talking to that woman? I'm still trying to wrap my head around that. It seems like an entirely different operation. Any idea who the escort agency's customer is? Okay. Here's the kicker. I think it's our chief. What? The customer's name is Liam Campbell and his address is in the right area. I need to call HQ immediately. When did she meet him? 2 days ago, I think. Alright, listen up. Meet me back at HQ in half an hour. Let's go over all the facts again and get ready to intervene in that handover. I'll have Saito look into the owner of the hideout apartment. Let's sort the rest out later. Catching the sniper remains our top priority. Copy that. See you at HQ. Okay, back to the train.
As I was
How do
making
I
my
go
way
there?
back down through the maze of Matuna's living quarters, I tried to untangle the threads of the conspiracy before me. Every detail I uncovered seemed to open up a number of new questions. What exactly was the connection between the stolen data and Banny's murder? It felt like there was a bigger plan underneath, like we were just scratching the surface.
Like I said before, I really love how the pixel art looks in this game. And there's a stark contrast between the upper class neighborhood that we've been seeing before and how this area looks like. What's this? Hi Neil. We checked the boat with the ID you sent me. Its name is Seize the Day, not Berta. It's a pretty big yacht. Is it possible that you picked the wrong ID? Maybe the data from the port AI was kind of confusing. I see. Listen, our perp got scanned passing through the train station ahead of you. I'm pretty sure that he landed the boat in the harbor on the other side. You should go and see for yourself. Gotcha. Okay. So, do I need to get on the train? Or, yeah, just the harbor here. Well, that should be a great stopping point in the game for now, and the story is getting really interesting. Apparently, this case is more than just the shooting of Banny, and it seems like the sniper and his accomplice, Zora, is involved in something bigger than we expected. And we've been seeing a lot of different environments in the game, which is really cool. I just have a slight issue about how we were supposed to get to apartment number 33 earlier. I think it just wasn't too obvious how to proceed from there. And when we walked to the right section, Neil was saying something about the lady, but it didn't really seem connected because at the time I was trying to get to the apartment. Maybe that dialogue could have come a little bit earlier when he was still talking to the lady, and that might have been a little bit more relevant. But yeah, I don't know. But aside from that, everything has been excellent. I've been enjoying the game so far, and I would really love to see the story behind the shooting. And I think we will also still get to explore more about Neil, considering that there was an email from Kat. I know we should have read that earlier in the game, but at the time I was focused on the core investigation. But I also want to learn more about Neil's personal life, and I want to know if we're going to see Kat and their child again in the future. And speaking of the future, this game is introducing a lot of interesting technologies that don't seem too far-fetched, actually. The technologies that they're talking about seem to be things that we could be using a few years from now. So that's cool, but that's it for today's playthrough of Lacuna. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you'd like to see more playthroughs of indie games, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you are updated with the latest content on the channel. If you did like this video, share it with your friends and leave a comment below to let me know what you think I should play next. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in our next adventure.